I've always wanted to be a mom. I just always had that maternal instinct and always kind of knew that that was something that I wanted. I knew that going into it, it would be a little bit more challenging for myself personally because before I had Kieran, I developed an anxiety disorder. So that was always kind of a risk. I think I had really high expectations of having this instant connection and having the skin to skin and having that kind of glorious moment with your child that you just gave birth to, and that was not there for me. So I think that my expectations of what the birth experience was supposed to be, that's kind of when it just started because that wasn't there. And then from that point on, just the loss of connection was the biggest thing initially. And I didn't feel really anything. No instant big love or big exuberant joy, right? It was just the little man in my life now. And that was hard. I felt a lot of guilt around that, so. I just kept finding excuses to why I was feeling that way. I would never just allow it, to just acknowledge what I was going through, right? To take time and really think about it, I guess. And because I had anxiety before, I had a bit of mood issues before, I just would say, okay, well, I'll just get over it. It'll just kind of come and go. I knew that there was resources available, counselors and so on, but I felt that probably most of the time I was too exhausted or I didn't want to leave the house, to be honest, to go and seek out those resources. Life just kind of was too much to go and take that time to do that. I didn't even leave Kieran with anybody else for more than an hour until he was like 6-7 months. So to have to go to a counselor or somebody to get help, I think would have been almost impossible physically. It just felt that way. So I knew the resources were there, but it was really hard to access them.
We heard from so many of the parents that they experienced feeling a lack of attachment and also at times concern for their own child's development. It's so very important that when we talk about the impacts that PPMD can have, that we place no blame on the parents.
If you think about a parent interacting with a newborn, changing diapers, dressing, bathing, and feeding, those are all natural opportunities to play, interact, stimulate, and enjoy the back and forth feedback between the child and the parent at different stages. If a parent is feeling depressed, they might not pick up on the subtle cues, they might misread them, they might be more withdrawn, they might be more intrusive, and all of these things can sometimes impact the parent-child relationship.
For a baby who's living in a home where mental health has become an issue among primary caregivers, how does that baby reach out to the community and say, hey, my family needs help? There has to be something that the family is able to say, okay, this is how we're going to meet the baby's needs. We know that in the brain of a baby in the first 2 years, the brain is producing nearly 1,000 synaptic connections every second. And that is not matched at any other time during a child's life. Why wouldn't we be doing everything to make the most of that profound period of brain development?
The cost of this is pretty significant. It's not only the cost of treatment for mothers, but we have to look at the cost of caring for the children that have these difficulties subsequently, but also the loss of opportunity. It's better to prevent these difficulties than to treat them later.
Within this project, we recognize, and the parents that we've worked with themselves recognize, that it's very difficult to meet a child's needs when you're having difficulty meeting your own needs yourself. Parents are doing the very, very best that they can. So it's so important for us to be able to support families to heal together and access services that provide treatment for the whole family.